Hey folks, Ellie here. I'm going to look at the S&P 500, the indexes in general in U.S. markets. And the reason for it is, we just finished November and we just had a great November. If you look at it here, 5.73% on the S&P 500. And that's a pretty picture perfect chart there. I mean, just straight up from the right down, it's a straight line up, straight line up. You got a setback back here in 22. But ever since then, it's straight up again. So, the question is, how far can this thing go? So let's start with, well, first of all, let's just go down here and look at this. This is extended, right? This is the S&P 500. And when you get extension like this, and this is heading that direction, right? It's not even close 32, but when you get this kind of extension 85, you're going to get a setback at some point. Right? And how do you trade that? The market's all about how are you going to make money. And you can't make money sitting on the sideline waiting on something to fail, because if you do, you may never get to failure. It may just keep going up. Now, there have been chances to buy on dips, but if you don't take those opportunities, right, this market can just simply get away from you. And with this breakout that just took place again, breakout, actually it's a breakout, retest, and regen, and now it's regenerating. So here's your swing point high, here's your bottom of that, this is the breakout bar, this is the retest bar, this is the continuation bar, regenerate, right, heading up. Now, doesn't mean it's just necessarily going to just keep going. I mean, it could fall back in there. But the most bullish scenario is that it just inches up higher and higher. And when it does that, it creates the FOMO, and people have to chase it higher. And that's happened over and over again as this market has gone up. So if I look at this, I know it's going to get a setback. How do I want to trade that? Well, I just want to stay in the strongest stuff and just assume that a setback is going to come. And when it does, just buy some more. So, if you're 100% invested, and it sets back, and let's say you're in high beta stuff and this thing sets back 5%, and your stuff goes down 15, but you're 100% invested, you can't take an opportunity to do anything. So what you have to do is you have to find a mechanism to get this down to something, yet still have some good power to the upside, and not be afraid to buy it when you get the dips. And so, when I look at this market is strong. There's nothing wrong with it. If I go to any of these other positions, I mean, if I go to the NASDAQ, pull the NASDAQ up and look at it. I mean, is this anything wrong with this chart? Well, no, there isn't. I mean, it's as strong as can be. If I look at the NASDAQ here, it breaks over a swing point high, making new highs. It's going up to actually hit those highs. It's closed the gap. It's done everything you want. The only thing that's bad about any of these charts, right, there's the close of the gap. Now you're going for the highs. It's going to break the highs. The only thing that's bad about this, they're extended, right? That extension is going to be felt at some point. I thought it was going to be back in September. That's usually about, when this gets up to around 75 or so, you're going to get a setback. Well, no, it's just pushed higher and higher. That just means you're going to get a nice setback at some point, and you need to be ready for that. You can't simply be 100% invested going into the setback, or it ain't going to do you any good. NDX looks the same, just a little bit weaker. So you can see here it just filled the gap this Friday right there, and so it's going to go for that high as well. Still strong action all across the board, and same problem here, extended. And finally, if I go over the small caps, which have been on a tear, now the small caps, they actually got a huge push this month, or last month, 10.84%. And what have they done on a short-term basis? Here they are. They did a breakout right there, a little retraced, going to try and regenerate to the top side. Or can you see it over here, and over on the monthly, they just broke this swing point high, right? Going after the all-time high now. So folks, anywhere I look, it looks strong. The only problem is what I keep saying, they're all extended, every one of them. And that simply says that this thing's going to get a retrace. If I pop this up, you can see extensions across all these, right? BEA, the BTI, the Russell, all of them extended. Going to get a setback. When it does, you want to take advantage of it. The only way to do that is not to be 100% invested unless you want to take on margin to get more position, but I think that's very dangerous. And you want to play those things that are strong, and those things are strong I've talked about elsewhere. You can check out my other videos. That's it. Have a great one. Take care.